Part 2 of this video has to do with how do you apply for your visa. How do you apply? I'm gonna use another marker now. So how do you apply for your visa? So part 1 of this video dealt with applying to the university for a course, applying for admission to a UK university. For this video, the topic is how to apply for a Tier 4 visa. How to apply for a Tier 4 visa. The Tier 4 visa basically is a student visa. So they've got Tier 2, Tier 1, blah, blah, blah. Tier 4 visas are student visas. For you to apply for the Tier 4 visa, the first thing you're gonna need is, and I wanna do this for you step by step. What I consider important is the first thing is your bank statements, right? So you need your bank statements. Sorry, let me use a blue marker here just to make it clearer. So you're gonna need bank statements, right? Now, why is this important? The bank statement is important because you have to have a certain amount of money in your account for 28 days, right? So the target is September when your course begins. So you want to target from 1st of July, you want to put, and I'm going to give you the amount you're going to be needing in your accounts. That's why I said this is the first important thing I think you should do before you apply for your visa. So 1st of July, right? 1st July, you want to put in the money in your account. The account has to be in your account as the account holder or in the account of your parents. It can't be in the account of your in-laws or your friends or your relatives. That cannot be the case here. The bank statement has to show that the account is in your name, and that money has to be there for 28 days, right? So what monies are you gonna be needing? I'm gonna give it to you now in details, right? So part 1 of this video talked about the courses, right? International politics, law, blah, blah, blah. On the website, you're gonna see the amount of money you're gonna be needing for your tuition fee. So let's say, for example, the tuition fee is £11,000, right? £11,000 tuition fee. Don't forget, you've paid deposits of £4,000. In the first part of this video, we talked about the deposits. So you've paid deposits of £4,000. So I will do minus £4,000, right? That will give us £7,000, right? This is what we need. £7,000 is remaining for the tuition fee. You've paid £4,000. If you want to, you can pay everything. Of course, you can pay everything daily, but I won't advise that. I would advise you stick to the deposit. Just pay the deposit and keep the remaining one because you're gonna need the money as well. So you take the £7,000 plus, they call it maintenance fee, right? Maintenance fee of 9,207, right? This will give you a total of, just bear with me, I need to use a calculator. £7,000 plus 9,207, £16,207. So the money that needs to be in your account for 28 days is £16,207. However, note this is for universities outside London. So I'm just gonna write it down here, outside London. Again, this I want to make this very easy for you to understand and for you to grasp. I would suggest as well, I would advise the university you want to apply for, let it be outside London because it's cheaper. Obviously, maintenance, living in London is more expensive. So this money is if you're applying outside London. So the university, if it's located outside London, then this is what you're going to be needing. Be careful of campuses, right? Some universities, the campus you're applying for might be located in London. Then obviously that's different. But most of the universities are, that's why I said just apply for university outside London. You don't want to bother yourself with is a campus in London or Cambridge or like some universities, 4 different campuses. That's not what you want. So outside London, this is the money you're gonna be needing in your account for 28 days. So let me calculate this now in Naira, right? And let us use 750 Naira as the exchange rates. So 16,207 times 750 will give us 12,155,250 Naira. I don't know if that's clear, but let me write it down here so it can be bolder. Just gonna clean this. So outside London, universities outside London, equivalent of 12,155,250 Naira. So the money that needs to be in your account for 28 days, if you're applying just for yourself, this is the money for yourself, this is the remainder of your tuition fee, has to be, let's say 12.2 million Naira. So UBA Bank, Zenith Bank, account statements, Joe Blake or Noble AEC, has to be in your own name or your parents' name. In your parents' name, in that case, they have to write a letter of sponsorship saying that you're their son or you're their daughter. And the bank statement has to be in their own name, your own parents, right? Not your in-laws. I know I'm saying that because people have had their visas denied because of those little mistakes. You want to have 12.2 million in your account. What I did in my own case was I put 12.5 in my account, right? I was spending the money, go buy oppa, go buy biscuits, go buy food, the restaurant, whatever. Pay for bills here and there. However, I made sure I never went below this money. You don't ever want to go below this money, right? The moment the money goes below this, you have to start counting again from the beginning. So imagine if you're on day 20 and you mistakenly spent below this money. You have to start counting again from day 1. So all the 20 days is gone. You have to put the money back to this money. That's why I said put more, put 12.5 or 12.2. So that you can then keep spending, because they wanna, not that it's matter, but they wanna see activity in your account, right? That you're using the money, right? So this is the money you're gonna be needing. However, let's say you have a child, you have a wife, right? This goes out of the window. This goes out of the window. So you want to come to the UK with your wife and your child, right? What you're going to be needing is you have your tuition fee remaining for yourself. Again, universities outside London, you're going to be needing 6,180 for your wife and another 6,180 for your child. If you have 2 children, it goes further. It's another 6,180. So they're called dependents. They're going to be depending on you. You're the main applicants. You have other dependents. So each of them, your wife, your child, your daughter. So let me just say you just have one child. Let me just, as an easier example, right? You have one child, you're in Nigeria, you're planning to come over from Nigeria to the UK with your wife and your child. Then that means you're looking at, again, back to the calculator, £7,000 plus 9,207 plus 6,180 plus 6,180. So you're looking at 28,000 £28,567. Let me give you the Naira equivalent. 28,567 times 750. So you're gonna be needing in your account for 28 days 21,425,250 Naira. Again, these are just for the this might be the exchange rate might be 700 Naira, black market exchange rates obviously. It could be 800 Naira. In this case, you have to be soft. That's why I always suggest you put more. So in this case, I would suggest you put 22 million Naira if you have a wife and if you have a child. Now let's go to if you're inside London, right? So you're inside London, right? And same figure, right? Same figure of you've paid £4,000 deposits, you have £7,000 as tuition fee remaining to pay. You apply inside London. So you're applying to either UCL, you're applying to either what other University of Westminster, what other LSE, you know, the universities that are located inside London. So you're gonna be needing, it could be the school fees might be 15 grand. So 15,000 minus £4,000, 11,000 pounds. That means you're gonna have 11,000 pounds here. You get what I mean? So any tuition fee minus the deposit you paid is you're gonna put it here, right? Now, if you're inside London, you're gonna need 12,006 pounds for yourself. Let me just do for yourself first before I go to your wife and your child, like in the former example. So if you're inside London, the total is gonna be, again back to the calculator, £7,000 plus 12,006 pounds, right? Which is equal to 19,006 pounds. So 19,006 pounds. In Naira equivalents, you're looking at, using 750 Naira exchange rate again, you're looking at 14,254,500 Naira inside London. So if you're inside London, universities inside London, you wanna have this money in your account for 28 days, right? So I suggest you have 14.3 million. So try to always go above, don't try to go below, because the exchange rate might, obviously, as you all know in Nigeria, keeps on fluctuating. So you want to have 14.3 million Naira in your account for 28 days. Same thing applies. Don't touch the money. If it goes below, start calculating again from the beginning, right? So let's say again you have a wife, you have a daughter. So for your wife, right? I'm just gonna clean this. For your wife, you have £7,605 plus for your child, for your daughter, for your son, 7,605, right? So if you're inside London, you need to have this tuition fee remaining, this for yourself, this for your wife, this for your child. If you have more children, keep on adding them. Child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4, right? Then you add it all up. If you have just a wife, then that means obviously this is gone. You know, if you just yourself and your wife, right? You don't need to add that of any child, right? But let's say you have a child, 7,605. So they're all depending on you. You're the main applicant, dependent. So for each dependent, your wife, your child, each dependent is 7,605 inside London, right? So 7,000 plus 12,006 pounds plus 7,605 plus 7,605. You're gonna be needing 34,206 pounds, 216 pounds in your account for 28 days. So 34,216 times 750 Naira will give you 25 million 662,000. I'm just gonna check that this is captured what I want. Yeah, so let me put it this way: 25,000. Sorry, that's wrong. 25 million naira. So yeah, what you need to have in your account for 28 days if you're applying inside London is 25 million 662,000. That is if you have a wife and if you have a child. Obviously, it's more. Not just because it's inside London, because you're applying with your wife, you're applying with your child, right? So, these are this for me. The first thing is your bank statements. This is the reason why I began with bank statements is 28 days, 1st of July. So that means by the 1st of August. So I'm gonna clean this up, right? We've dealt with bank statement now. We've dealt with bank statements. 1st of August, right? The money has been there for 28 days. The next thing you need to do is your TB tests, your tuberculosis tests. I'm gonna clean this up as well. Clean this. So you wanna do your TB tests. It's called tuberculosis tests, either in Abuja or Lagos. And it has to be at the International Office of Migration at Abuja or Lagos, right? I'm gonna try to provide as much information as I can in the link below so that you can easily click on the link and you can find your way around. Guys, ladies or gentlemen, you can't go to any hospital you want. You can't just go into any hospital. It has to be the International Office for Migration, either at Abuja or in Lagos State, right? And the money you're gonna need, I think it keeps changing as of when last I did mine and my friends did theirs, 54K, So you need 54,000 naira. You're gonna pay it in a, I think it's Standard Chartered Bank, I think, But I'm gonna put it in the link because these figures keep changing. But it's either two places you're gonna need to go, Abuja or Lagos State, right? When you've paid for the TB test, right? You've gotten your certificate. They're gonna give you certificates, because you're gonna have to attach it in your application when applying for your visa. Before you click the submission button, at this stage, you are at gov.uk. I'm gonna put it again in the link. I'm gonna put it in the link as well. You are gov.uk. You're applying for your visa, right? Before you click the submission button, you have to pay what we call Immigration Health Surcharge. So it's called IHS, right? So let's say you're coming to the UK for your masters. Again, in part 1 of the video, we talked about masters just 1 year. It's a 1 year course, some masters are 2 years. So take note. Undergraduate 3 years or 4 years, right? For each year you're gonna be spending in the UK, you're gonna be paying IHS surcharge fee of £470, right? 470. So that if you're coming by yourself, you only need to worry about £470 just for yourself. If you're coming with your partner, your wife, another £470. If you're coming with a child, blah blah, keeps on going. For each dependent, you're gonna be paying this figure, right? If it's only 1 year, you only need to pay it for 1 year. If the course is if it's a 2-year course, then that means you have to pay this twice for each person. So you're looking at 470 times 2 times your wife, plus. So 470 times 2, you get the point, right? You add everything up, that's what you're gonna be paying. But in this case, it's just yourself, right? Let me just say this. In this case, it's just yourself applying. So before you click the submission button, the link will take you, the website will take you to a place, to another website where you have to pay what we call IHS surcharge fee. immigration health surcharge. The next thing you're gonna do is, and I think this is very important. This is one thing that I'm saying based on experience, or what I did that works for me when applying, because most of you are like, no, but walk us through how you apply. Show us what we can do. So there are three different kinds of application, right? You have your standard application. You have your standard. You have your priority. And then you have your, for this one, I wanna use the red marker, because I think it's important. You have your super priority. Super priority. Right? So for your standard application, again, for the visa, when applying for your tier 4 visa, there are three different kinds of application you can make. You can make a standard, you can make a priority, you can make a super priority. In the case of the standard application, what you're gonna be needing, if you're applying using the normal standard application fee, it's gonna cost you £475, and it's gonna take 3 weeks, right? So 3 weeks to get a decision back whether you are successful. Hopefully you are successful in your application. For the priority, the more you go up, the more expensive it becomes. For the priority, you need £975, right? And it's gonna take 5 working days, right? Sorry, just now write this out properly. 5 working days. If you're applying with the super priority, it's gonna cost you more. If I'm gonna come to why I think it's very important, £1,275, 48 hours. So by the end of the next working day, you're gonna get a decision. If you ask me, I wanna make sure this is recorded. If you ask me my own opinion, I suggest you go for this super priority. In my own opinion as well, please avoid this at all costs. Avoid going for the standard application. The reason is because with the standard application, the standard visa application, they are gonna invite you for an interview, right? In the interview, they're gonna ask you a series of questions. Some of the questions they're gonna ask you, you may not be able to answer it well. Someone is over here in the UK speaking to you on the phone, asking you some questions. The person is not in front of you. The answers you may give may not be what the person wants to hear. The person might feel like you're saying things that he or she does not like, or they have a template they're working with. If the answers or the cues you're giving the person, or the way you're answering the question the person does not like the answers you're giving, he or she can deny that visa application. I've had friends of mine that got denied because they used this standard application, and not because they used it, because the answers they gave in the interview were not correct answers. The person, for some reason or the other, felt that they weren't giving the right answer. So as much as possible, you want to avoid this. So I'm just gonna say this here. Priority is kind of 50-50, right? They may or may not invite you for an interview. May or may not, 50-50. There are high chances they may not, they may also invite you as well. If you choose to go for this one, it takes 5 working days for you to get a decision. Hopefully it's a positive one. With the super priority, I'm just gonna think good here, they will never ever invite you for an interview. 48 hours, in most of the cases, in 99.9% of the cases, you will always get a positive decision. So your visa will always come back positive, that you were successful in your visa application, right? With this one, no interview. No one is gonna call you on the phone, no one is gonna ask you any questions. Your passport will simply get shipped by DPD or whatever to the UK. They will stamp it for you, send it back to you. 48 hours. So long as you have your bank statement, everything is right and proper, you will always get a positive decision. So as much as possible, if you're listening to me, if you think I'm saying something right, you want to avoid standard, right? As much as possible, avoid standard. Yes, it's gonna cost you more, but the last thing you want is, you don't want to go through all these stages, go through the whole process of applying, very tedious process, and then your visa comes back, and because of a mistake you made in the interview, it gets denied. That's the last thing you want. You can always go for this, right? Prepare well, plan, ask someone to ask you questions, ask your agent. You can always use an agent if you want. Ask him to prepare you for the interview, if you don't have enough money. But I'd rather you, at least if you don't have enough money to go for this, at least just go for this. If you have the money, just go for 1275. Go for super priority. In 48 hours, your passport comes. You don't want to be waiting for 3 weeks and your heart is beating, waiting for 3 weeks or for 5 working days. At least 5 working days is better than 3 weeks, right? Yeah, so hopefully at this point, you've done this super priority visa application, you've paid the money, you've uploaded your documents. So you're going to upload your bank statements, all the things you need are going to be shown to you on the website gov.uk. I've also talked about that in part 1 of this video, right? Your CAS, you're going to upload your CAS, your passports. You've paid this money, you've paid 1275, you've paid for your TB test, you've paid for your IHS surcharge fee. Then you've given them your passport at TLS office in Abuja or Lagos. When your visa comes back, your visa will come back as, on your passport you're going to have a vignette. What is called a vignette is a 30 days. It's a 30 days time frame, So on your passport, you're going to have something stamped on your passport that gives you 30 days within which you have to be in the UK. So in that 30 days, you have to be in the United Kingdom, whether it's England, Wales, Scotland, right? You have to be in the UK. If you're not in the UK within those 30 days, the visa expires, becomes null and void, so you can't come into the UK again. When you're not coming to the UK, you get your BRP. It's called Biometric Residence Permit. So it's a card they're going to give you when you are in the UK. They won't give you that card in Nigeria or in Africa. When you now arrive in the UK with this, you're going to use this through the passports in Nigeria and in London or wherever you land in. When you now come in, there's a postcode in your letter. There's a postcode you have to go to collect your BRP, your Biometric Residence Permit. So yeah, I think that does part 2 of this video. In part 3, I will just be giving you a brief analysis of all the monies you're going to be needing, right? When it comes to the bank statements, I made mention of this earlier in part 2 of this video. In the bank statements, what I would suggest you do, you can approach family and friends, right? Approach some family and friends, ask them that you need money, 12 million naira in your accounts, blah, blah, blah. They should help you out with the money. They give you the money for 28 days. When 28 days expires, you take the money and give it back to them. So the 1st of August, when you've applied for your visa, you've clicked on the submission button, you take the money, transfer it back to their accounts. Second thing that I know people do is, there are some loan companies in Nigeria that can loan you this money. So they can loan you the money you need for 20, not the money that you're going to be spending for your TB test and your deposit, no. The money they're going to loan you is the money you need in your account for 28 days. So there's some companies that do that. They will loan you the money for 28 days. You have to pay an interest to them. So the money is in your account for 28 days under your name, right? It's under your name for 28 days. After you've applied, you've clicked on the submission button, you've uploaded your documents, you've gone to the Abuja or Lagos and submitted your passports. They've done your facial, fingerprint, blah, 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 right? At that point, you take the money and give it back to the loaning company, right? But in part 3, I'm gonna walk you through very briefly deposits, TB tests, and all the monies you're gonna need to when applying. Yeah. If you like this video, please don't forget to share it. Don't forget to like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you think I helped you in any way to hopefully you're taking down some notes. You can always obviously go back and watch something again, and if you don't understand it, ask me a question, drop me a comment. I would always get back to you. And I hope it works out for you. I hope you get your student visa. The easiest way to come to the UK, in conclusion, is to come as a student. That's the easiest way to come into the UK. I don't know about other countries in Europe, but at least in the UK, the easiest way is coming as a student. When you come in, obviously you have the 2-year post-study visa, right? As a master's student, you have 2-year post-study visa. It's called a graduate visa, so you can apply for it to stay back. That's a new thing they introduced since the 1st of July last year. So you can stay back on your graduate visa for 2 years. You can apply for proper jobs so that you can, from a tier 4 visa, go on to a tier 2 visa, So it's easy to leave Nigeria to come to the UK. The only thing is going to cost you some money here and there. But like I said, the bulk of the money, which is the 28 days money, your family and friends can help you with that. For the rest of the money that you're going to need, I'll walk you through, but I'm just going to give it to you briefly in part 3 of the video. So thank you so much.